driving down the road one day, and I just had this urge to go find a house, and I'm using urge, but I'm sure there's a better word.
Yes, yes.
Just to go find a house, any house with the for sale sign in it, and in the yard, and say a prayer in front of it. And I said a prayer. Fast forwarding through the story, I go to the open house of this like $500,000 house, thinking God was gonna bless me with this house. And I ended up meeting the realtor who became my mentor for 2.5 years of just discipleship meeting, like once, maybe twice a week.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so the mentorship she provided to me it changed my life. It helped me find my identity. We would sit down and just read the word together, and that like really molded my heart. And so since that time with Miss Judy is what I call her, I've been like chasing just my faith and just my relationship with God, and it has opened doors such as ministry work, working at CU Church, having the strength to finish school, getting my degree at the University of Illinois, and be a great mother to 2 young boys. And so that is how I would share my story in such a brief time.
Oh my gosh. Well, and you, like I mentioned, you are just marked with so much joy, and you have probably the fullest plate of anyone I've ever met. Being an amazing mom of 2 very athletic and soon to be very tall kids. But where do you think throughout that story, especially in those moments of what you call darkness, what kept you going?
Okay. Well, people would be the easy answer, and God uses people in amazing ways, but even more specifically, the stories of people. For example, even my mom, I watched my mom have 3 kids by the time she was 19, myself included. So I saw her you know, raise us. And then I saw her get her bachelor's and master's.
Wow.
I saw her go through a divorce. And so just indirectly learning her story told me like, oh, you could do anything, right? But then I had another mentor who took me to it was like an after-school program. It was at the Vineyard, and someone came to share their story, and this mentor took a group of us there. And I don't even remember all the details of the story, but I remember the inspiration that I felt from that story. And so, so yes, hearing people's stories. And then the last thing I would say is words of encouragement. And so related to school specifically, once I was at a church, and well, this has happened multiple times, but once I was at a church and the pastor told me, like, he said, your schooling would be a success story. And that was words of encouragement for me. I had no idea what it meant besides, all right, I'll turn this around. But at the moment, I was a horrible student, Grace. Oh my goodness. I was almost, I almost lost my financial aid. I was almost like kicked out of college. And mind you, this was a community college, just not getting the grades I needed, withdrawing from classes. Horrible student, okay? And this pastor gives me those words of encouragement, and I wrote it down. I still have it written down. This was like in 2015. Both of my boys were like under 3. And so I'm like, okay, wrote that down and always remembered it. And just those words, people's stories, words of encouragement, and just people's love toward me has always like sparked a fire in me to keep going.